Are Democrats plotting the assassination of Joe Biden? Oh, Roger, you're a conspiracy theorist. I didn't say I think that's what's happening, but let's talk about the possibility of it happening. Because our government, or portions of it, certain uh, agencies or people over the years have pulled a lot of bullshit unbeknownst to the American people. Things done secretively. We all know that this is the case. And sure, there's a lot of stuff that the government has to keep uh, under wraps for national security reasons. But I think there's occasions where the government uses that excuse to cover up their corruption, their incompetence, and all bunch of bullshit that they pull. You know, some people think that the moon landing was a hoax. I wouldn't put myself in that category, but if proof came out that that was indeed the case, I wouldn't be completely shocked. You know, something a little more closely related to is there a plot to assassinate Potato Joe? Let's talk about the assassination of JFK. So we all know the official story is that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone and took out JFK. Now, I think as the years go by, more and more people are coming to the conclusion that that official story is not completely true. I think was JFK killed by Lee Harvey Oswald? I don't know. Was Lee Harvey Oswald involved in it? Yeah, I believe so. Do I think he acted alone? I doubt it. I mean, I'm not really sure. But, you know, JFK got elected due to some fuckery going on. And you hear different stories about how that happened. And you also hear that as a result of stuff that happened there and then policies that JFK either implemented or didn't implement, you know, he was supposed to pay back certain people for helping him get elected and he didn't. So, you know, there's various theories going on about how uh, it was the mafia, the CIA was involved, this, that, and the other thing. But it is rather convenient that Lee Harvey Oswald was killed within, what was it, a week of JFK's assassination. Was it Jack Ruby walks up and puts a cap in Lee Harvey Oswald's ass? Rather suspicious, in my opinion. So, anyways, why am I saying that? Hey, it's not completely out of the realm of possibility that those pulling the strings in this government, this regime, in the Democrat Party, maybe they're planning to put a cap in Joe Biden's senile ass. Why would I say this? Well, let's take a look at that, you know, speech the other night. People are giving comparisons to well, Star Wars or to Hitler or various communist regimes to V for Vendetta, you know, and everything that happens around the president is very orchestrated, very planned out. And I think that the idea was to make Potato Joe look strong. And we had a bunch of different takes on whether it made him look this, that, or the other thing. But, you know, I'm not going to get into all that. But what I am going to talk about is what did he do in this speech? Basically, he said the same shit he's been saying for a while now. Coming straight out and saying it or hinting at it. I mean, it's all along the same theme as what these Democrats have been doing for quite a while now. And this is their leftist communist playbook that goes back decades and decades, you know. part of their playbook is to accuse your political opponents of what you're guilty of. So we see them doing this on a whole variety of things. So, basically anybody such as this racist, white supremacist, honky ass cracker, such as myself, I'm on the hit list. I'm a MAGA Republican. Now, hey, let me know down in the comments, a little side here. Do you say MAGA or you say MAGA? I don't care. It's either one. So, MAGA Republicans, according to Joe Biden, are a threat to our democracy. People such as myself, we don't respect the Constitution. And we're out to destroy this country. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous, right? And then you got that, the black lesbian chick, whatever her name is, something Pierre, totally incompetent. But hey, she checks a bunch of boxes. So, there's another diversity hire we got going on there. And she gets out there and says all kinds of bullshit too. And a bunch of people from the administration spout off stuff like white supremacists, racist, terrorist, extremist, threat to democracy. It's pretty ridiculous when you step back and you weigh each side. Just look at the actions, the policies. What has this administration and its allies, what have they been doing over the last several years? And let's find out who the threat to democracy is, who the terrorists are, who the racists are. Well, let's start off with the racist, right? There's always going to be racists, and there's always going to be racists that are on the left wing or the right wing. But I think that the percentage of racist white supremacists that are on the right end of the political spectrum that voted for Trump or who are registered Republicans is probably a lot smaller percentage than the number of racists that voted for Joe Biden, believe in CRT, were out in the streets in 2020 committing all kinds of violence to attain political results, the definition of terrorism. So I think that percentage of racists on one side is far smaller than the allies of Joe Biden. Right? They have what do they call that? The soft bigotry of low expectations. I mean, they're out there saying that white people are oppressors and that non-white people are destined to be oppressed. They'll never amount to anything. So let's not grade them in school. Let's lower the standards so that they can get into college and universities. I mean, who's the racist there? The person who says that if you're white, you're basically going to be able to do whatever you want and oppress everyone else. And everyone else who's not white needs the white man's help to do anything, to get ahead. Who are the people that said black people are so fucking stupid that they don't know how to go to the DMV and get an ID? I mean, these people's actions speak louder than their words, at least to anyone who's paying attention. So that's the whole racist thing. They accuse people like me of being racist when they're the one committing all the racist actions. What else? The terrorist thing, right? Oh, a bunch of MAGA people are terrorists and they're promoting violence. And they cite J6. So a very small percentage of people who went into the Capitol, they represent a very small percentage of people who voted for Trump. In 2020, Trump got a larger percentage of votes from black people, Hispanic people, gay and lesbian folks. So this whole thing that Trump is racist, this, that, and the other, and terrorizing all the minorities, that's just ridiculous on the face of it. But You know, the people who went into the Capitol, J6, I don't know how many of them violently breached the doors and how many of them walked through open doors and were waved in by the Capitol Police. Let's put this whole conspiracy thing with the FBI and Pelosi and Schumer and that scumbag DC mayor. I think they were all in cahoots, you know, following the an outline of what the FBI did over in Michigan. But you know, the trust of our federal government has just taken a nosedive as of late. But so they like to use the J6 people as evidence of how violent the folks on the right are. And they conveniently ignore the summer of love, right? So we know that BLM and Antifa, by definition, are terrorist organizations. You had the likes of Camel Toe Harris bailing out people that were rioting when those organizations were out attempting a revolution in 2020. So who the real terrorists are, I'm sure there's terrorist people with political ideologies on either side of the spectrum. But the biggest threat, if you look at the actions that have been going on, not to mention all the recent violence against these centers that are pro-life centers that are offering medical care and counseling to people involved in that type of situation. You know, Jane's Revenge, another group that's been promoting violence or engaging in violence is this, what was that, Ruth Sent Us group. I think these groups have a lot of overlap. But we see political violence from the left far more than we do from the right. And whenever it looks like something from the right is being violent, it turns out to be a hoax. You know, the likes of Jesse Smollett and that Bubba Watson or whatever that clown's name was, turns out to be a hoax or somebody just being stupid. I'm not saying there's not violence on the right politically, but it's the instances of it are far smaller and fewer. I mean, the legit instances of it, because people on the left try to falsify examples left and right. So we know who the true terrorists are. Then you got the threat to democracy, you know. So who were the people that were wanting to legitimately pack the court? Because the people on the left say, oh, Trump wants to pack the court, and they change the just like they changed the definition of man or woman, they try to change the definition of pack the court or all these other things, right? They want to end the filibuster when it behooves them. So they don't have any respect for our Constitution, for our institutions, for our traditions. You know, they turn around and say that we're the threat to democracy. But all these accusations that Numbnuts was flinging around the other night, it's just in line with what they've been saying for quite some time now. And of course, they want to demonize Trump and all his supporters, and what they call that, othering them, right? So basically saying that anyone who voted for Trump, supports Trump, is a threat to democracy. They're laying the groundwork so that they can come after, you know, whether it's Trump they want to go after, Ron DeSantis they want to go after. They're going to start going after other politicians. They got this 87,000 new IRS armed agents that they're going to sick on probably people like me. At what point are they going to start arresting people? Oh my God, that's another conspiracy. No, I mean, they're laying the groundwork to do this stuff, right? So how is all this coming up to they're plotting to assassinate Joe Biden? Well, it's pretty plain to see if you think about it, right? So they're out there saying that MAGA Republicans are a threat to our democracy and they're very violent. So, you know, after that speech, pretty much sometime, because they're trying to stir up violence by people like me. So everyone Don't go do anything that they could use against Trump or the likes of you and me. Don't be violent. Don't lose your shit. That's what they were trying to do, is stir up emotions and have somebody lose their shit and go out and do something that would only reflect badly on all of us MAGA Republicans. So they're laying the groundwork saying that the MAGA Republicans are violent insurrectionists and a threat to our democracy. What would be a huge, gigantic, violent act threatening our country and our democracy? The assassination of a president, right? So I'm thinking about this, and I think there's probably going to be at least one false flag between now and the election, right? They're probably going to do all kinds of shit. They're probably going to indict Trump between now and the election in hopes of influencing the election. But they're also probably going to have false flags of, some conservative type out there doing political violence. Well, shit. If you get Joe Biden assassinated between now and the election, and they fucking come up with some fucking scapegoat, like that guy that shot up fucking Vegas a few years back at that concert, right? They never figured out what his motive was and all this bullshit. Who knows what the hell went on with that guy? But that guy, in my opinion, was, I thought when I heard that happen, I thought he was like some government agent, CIA type that lost his shit, but who knows? But anyways, could you imagine if Biden gets assassinated in the next few weeks? CNN and MSNBC, ABC, New York Times, blah, 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 the fucking corporate media and all the fucking Democrats, they're going to be out there telling us that it was a extreme right-wing MAGA Republican violent extremist terrorist that did this, and they'll probably even have somebody fucking right there that they arrest, or the guy will get fucking kill himself or get shot or something, so that you can't question the guy. Just see what happened with JFK's alleged assassin. And then they're going to be let's go look at this guy's social media, and I guarantee that this motherfucker is going to have, Facebook and Twitter and all the bullshit about his fucking right-wing beliefs and how he's a Trump supporter and he thinks this, that, and the other. That he's an election denier, right? It's another thing they go on about is the election denier. But Hillary Clinton was the biggest fucking election denier, and they all went along with that. But it's like it never fucking happened, because the people that are part of their fucking cult, boop, they'll just believe whatever these fucks say. But, so, yeah, don't be surprised if there's an assassination, or at least an assassination attempt, on Joe Biden between now and the midterms. Because then they're going to point the finger at you and me and say, oh, this MAGA Republican, see, here's proof that they're violent extremists and they're a threat to our democracy. Now, Roger, you're a conspiracy theorist, that's nuts. Well, maybe so. But if you put 2 and 2 together, in my book, it comes up to 4. But I know it's white supremacist mathematics, right? But I don't think this is going to happen. But I do think there's probably going to be some type of false flag between now and the elections. And if there's an attempt on the life of the so-called president, I will not be surprised at all. Anyways, folks, I've rambled on enough about this. Let me know what you think about this potential false flag of an assassination attempt of Joe Biden. Do you think it's completely fucking ridiculous? Do you think that if something like that were to happen, you wouldn't be surprised? Let me know in the comments. All right, everyone. Thank you, and have a great weekend. Labor Day weekend. I'm not a big fan of Labor Day because the socialism implications of it. But from what I understand, they moved Labor Day. It used to be celebrated back on May 1st, which happens to be my birthday, unfortunately, because May 1st is a fucking communist holiday from my understanding. But anyways, enjoy your long weekend and stay cool. If, I don't know where anywhere else, but here in Los Angeles, it's been hot as fuck, you know, and that's not a global warming thing, you know, heat wave in the summertime. Wow. You know, we had that shit in LA since I was born back in 1970. So I don't want to get on a rant on the climate change bullshit. Maybe I'll do another video on that at another time. All right, everyone, enjoy your weekend. Thanks for watching. Do all the shit, YouTube shit, if you like this stuff, and catch you on the next one.